Even before then,
Right.
I've seen this guy 30 times. Like, dog, if you literally was that upset
about it. Say, hey,
yeah,
hey,
why
say
did you
it.
say?
Him and Steve had already apologized for me, so I gave him a pass for a decade. Why would you sit here and be like, I saw Katt 30 times, and Katt didn't do, as I stand before you, I would have bust Cedric's stomach. Nothing that would have kept me from one of these in that patch right there. Like, are you kidding me? Why did I give you a pass if you were just gonna lie? He over here look like a walrus. You didn't say nothing. He can't even get his arms off his stomach sitting over here. Why, I'm not a movie star. What? Promise you this.
What?
If he sees me again before he sees you, he'll be talking different when you see it. But eventually, the Lord is gonna let me and you be in one hallway.
I don't know, y'all. It's not looking too good for Kevin Hart, and I'm concerned. Ever since Katt Williams has went on Club Shay Shay yesterday and exposed everything that have to do with comedians in the industry, Kevin Hart fan base has completely switched on him. Now, Kevin Hart responded in a tweet. He didn't deny any of the allegations. He didn't say he was lying. He just told him he's a hater and he need to get it out his heart. And Kevin Hart fans went mad. As y'all could see, Kevin Hart fans, they taking matters into their own hands. You even got some saying now, you maturing and realizing Kevin Hart was never funny. Now I gotta be honest with y'all. When I was in middle school, everybody was saying Kevin Hart lines. I'm sorry. He called Kevin Hart a plant. He brought up Kevin Hart wearing a dress. Everything. And Kevin Hart's response was he's simply mad and he's just a hater. And people not going for it. Some people notice they calling him a hater, but ain't nobody saying he lying. Kevin Hart had a chance to clear his name. The video almost got 10 million views. But he decided he gonna take the opportunity to promote his movie. One thing I'm noticing, Kevin Hart don't want no smoke with Katt Williams. I guess it's safe to say everything Katt Williams said was the truth.
If you have $1 billion, we have learned that you can do whatever you want to do. When Elon Musk wants to send things in space, he don't have to ask nobody's permission. Congress don't meet. Senate don't meet. No police department gotta be warned. He don't need a permit. None of that. If you got $1 billion, you do what you want to do, and then you tell them what you did.
Man.
And that's how it goes.
What he built on the $270 million bunker? What do you know that we don't know, Katt?
Kim Jong-un? What? I don't know what you don't know. Do you understand that people that are not very bright are in charge of nuclear bombs all across the country?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he knows. He knows that 30% of all weapons systems are running off regular Wi-Fi. So what does that mean? That means if a solar flare or a meteor hits either one of those, literally a bomb can go off just because the system accidentally got turned off. Yeah, that's what he knows. The people that are in power know that the people that are running the most complicated and deadliest things on the planet are just an average idiot. And you know lots of idiots.
I do.
Yep, and these people are not special. Back in the day they were.
Yeah.
Not today. Not today. 3 quick points. You mean in Hollywood they cast a 5'5" black Santa Claus that weigh 145 pounds? That's your story. Your story is the Ricky Smiley that couldn't even do curse words because he had a Christian fan base. He was gonna play the pimp. Why you didn't ask him why has he played a woman in more movies than he's played a man? Like, you just gonna take your shirt off on every movie? Like, why does it say that in your script?
Man, let Big Worm live. Let him breathe, Katt. Let Big Worm breathe. Stall him out now.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers does not like you.
No, I ain't got no allegiance to the man. But you got to admit the role that he played, Big Perm and Friday now. You got to give him credit for the role now. Come on now.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If what you're saying is correct, why wasn't he in Next Friday or Friday After Next?
I mean, his role,
It wasn't good. Sorry.
There was a lot of people that appeared in the first one that weren't in the second one, Katt.
I'm just telling you why. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that there's a news flash that there are reasons for things in a business.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, why did you bench D-Lo? He had 2 points. What are you talking about? Shut up. But I like him. Nobody cares about that. That's not what we're talking about. These are business conversations that deal with businessmen.
Right.
Right. When you're good at something, you should progress. The guys that are not as good, they should fall down by the wayside. You having an unnatural allegiance to losers does not like you.
No.
Because he has 7 TV shows.
See, the reason I stopped was because I 7 shows on TV all at once.
The only problem is when he stopped stand-up, he didn't have those 7 TV shows. He stopped stand-up because he got in a comedy battle called the Championship of Stand-Up Comedy with one Katt Williams in Detroit in front of 10,000 people and lost because Katt Williams said he was actually bald and that was a wig. And I went in and that's why he couldn't do stand-up anymore. Imagine him coming to tell you another story.
Please give it up for Steve Harvey one time. Give it up for Steve Harvey. He's an excellent comedian. One of the finest we've ever had. But he don't want no parts of this in any way, shape, form, or fashion. This is some other shit. I don't know why he came out here with all this money y'all spent on them motherfucking tickets and talked about a lady in the audience for 15 goddamn minutes. That nigga should have talked about me the way I've been to talk about his bitch man. I'm the wrong nigga to fucking win my tour championship, my nigga. You did. You see that nigga had to take off that lace front high top fade before he came out here to battle me, goddamn. I plays no motherfucking game, Steve. I'm a little nigga, I fight dirty. You did. You did, baby. What the fuck is he thinking about? He trying to copy off me and bring that ugly ass, sparkly ass tie out with a regular black suit like he was going to a funeral. Yours, nigga, yours. I give a fuck. I give less than a fuck. Whatever less than a fuck is. You the one came out here and told jokes about if a bitch lick you on the left nipple, you buy that bitch a car. If that ain't the trickiest shit I ever heard. Bitch, you can suck my dick with the Holy Spirit in your mouth. I ain't buying you a goddamn car. I ain't even gonna give you a ride. But that's the problem. It's a generation gap.
Big Mama's house 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I've never seen Medea in a pantsuit. I think she wears dresses. So now I'm saying, why are we picking on poor little Kevin Hart? Because it was his turn next.
Okay.
Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them. End quote.
We all love Dave Chappelle.
Exactly. Dave Chappelle has never been a part of the Illuminati. They don't want him or me or people like us.
Yeah.
But now it's not necessary for us to stir up that hornet's nest unless we intend to get stung 1,000,000 times. I didn't understand that. They had to sting me 1,000,000 times. Right. I'm still not going to join.
Rumor in Hollywood that black male entertainers are pressured into wearing a dress on screen before they're allowed to progress to the next level of fame. Multiple comedians have openly talked about this. Not just Katt Williams, but also Dave Chappelle. During his 2006 appearance on The Oprah Show, Dave talked about why he turned down a $50 million deal from Comedy Central, and he said he did it because he knew that kind of money comes with certain conditions.
I've been in show business since I was 14, and I've heard the stories of what happens, and I've seen these kinds of things play out in front of me.
Okay. When you say you heard the stories, what do you mean? What stories?
I mean, you see before, look, Mariah Carey made a $100 million deal, and 3 months later, she's all of a sudden mysteriously crazy. Or Martin Lawrence punches through and he's waving a gun on the street screaming, "They're trying to kill me."
Yeah, we hear those stories.
And it always happens around the time of their career where it seems as though they're crossing over the next plateau.
Yeah.
He also recalled being asked to wear a dress for a movie he did with Martin Lawrence.
Like when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, all these brothers gotta wear a dress. This happened to me. I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in a trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dress in here.
Even after Dave said that he felt the dress was unnecessary for the scene, the producers kept pressuring him and claimed that all the greats did it.
They come in. The writer comes in. I think he's the writer. He's like, Dave, listen, we got this hilarious scene where Martin's sneaking out of jail. So he disguises you as a prostitute. And he put this dress on. And what? A prostitute? Nah, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're right. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave. Listen, we got it all set up. We're supposed to shoot. Every minute you waste costs this much money. You know, the pressure comes in.
According to Dave, the producers had 2 versions of the scene ready in case he refused to put on a dress. And they only left him alone once they realized they couldn't wear him down.
Now the producers come on, David would be so great. I mean, and then I started thinking about it. All the comics that I've seen, man, you know, strong brothers, why they be putting us in these dresses? But the minute it was clear, I was adamant, I'm not wearing a dress. I'm not wearing the dress. All right, fine. Think of something else. Guy comes back 10 minutes later, the whole new scene. Hot damn, how did you write the scene so fast?
By the way, Dave also explained that it's not the dress itself that's humiliating, and this is more about celebs being pushed to see if they're willing to do whatever they're told.
Would you say you lost your mind, sort of?
No.
No.
Not exactly.
Okay.
I wasn't crazy, but it's incredibly stressful.
Dave explained that what happened to him and Martin is that the industry higher-ups were deliberately stressing him out so he would snap. And once he snapped, all they had to do was label him as difficult or crazy to get full control of his career.
I feel like in a lot of instances, I was deliberately being put through stress because, you know, when you're a guy that generates money, people have a vested interest in controlling.
Now, if you're wondering what all this has to do with Kevin Hart, well, back in 2012, Kevin was asked to comment on Dave's claims that black entertainers are pressured into wearing dresses. Kevin laughed off Dave's comments, and though he didn't explicitly say he would never put on a dress for a role, he did say he would never step over his personal boundaries.
Dave Chappelle, another great comedian, said that, you know, in the industry, they tried to make him wear a dress. Have you ever ran into that with scripts, and is that something that, you know, you wouldn't do, you know, for
I definitely haven't ran into to put on the dress. I mean, you know, you have to have You have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross. For me, I know what they are. They've yet to been challenged, so, I don't have to speak on them. I was asked to dribble a basketball on the talk show this morning.
You look
said
good
no to that. Not that was a dress, but I was like, no, I'm going to look stupid. At the end of the day, you got to know that you're a brand. I'm a brand. You need to protect your brand at all times. When things happen that can possibly affect your brand, your brand can be diminished, and you don't want that to happen. So, protecting my brand is definitely a priority.
But just a year later, Kevin appeared in an SNL skit wearing a dress, and fans accused him of being a sellout. If you ask Katt Williams, all conspiracies come from somewhere.
There aren't that many conspiracy theories anymore because we found out that all conspiracy theories, there's a nugget of truth in there. It came from somewhere. That's where it became a theory. And then it progressed to the point where it became a conspiracy theory because there was something there.
My frustration with Katt Williams comes from, you keep pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You had the shot.
Katt was in that position at one point.
You were the guy.
Yeah.
You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up to work. You off promo shoots. You promo fucking trips that they had set up for you. You became a risk to the studios, which is why the studios stopped fucking you.
Why was he a risk?
He chose drugs.
Oh, okay.
Take responsibility for what you chose and say, you know what? I got to fix me, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to stand up for comedy. So when you say Tiffany Haddish doesn't deserve or isn't really a comedian and these other women have worked hard, which they have. Shouts out to Melanie Camacho. Shouts out to Lunel. Shouts out to Leslie Jones, who are all underneath the umbrella of Katt Williams. Katt Williams, have you ever used your platform to bring the people that were under you up? You haven't. So because you haven't, don't shit on those that now are. I've used my platform and I've brought my guys and girls up. The brand of Kevin Hart is a brand that's expanded so far, whether you like me or not. My presence in comedy will forever be felt because I'm a fucking boss. I sit on the top of it, and the opportunities that I'm giving are the ones that I'm creating. So take responsibility for what you did. You. Nobody else did. You don't hear Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, the Kings of Comedy, Seinfeld. You don't hear George Lopez, Eddie Griffin. You don't hear who else can I go down the road of other comedians? Steve Martin, Martin Short. You don't hear the guys that got on top and that made it by doing what they love complain about the people that are coming under them. The reason why is because they're happy with themselves. Don't blame everybody else for your shit. Don't shit on my sister Light because you're not happy with your shit. This shit is earned. It's not given. I don't give a fuck if Tiffany Haddish fan or not. It's earned. Tiffany Haddish got years in the game. It's not an accident that Tiffany Haddish got an opportunity to star in a movie. It's not an accident that that character popped in the movie. Written or not written, a character has to pop it.
And he even acknowledged that.
But, yeah, most people are going to immediately point out Dave Chappelle, too, of course, which, again, peace.
No, they like
Wherever
Tiffany
you
Haddish
at, under the sound of my
she's
voice,
real.
they like her because she want to sleep with a white man. That's why the only thing she said was, I want to give it to Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt said, well, if I'm single in a year and you're single in a year, maybe we can get together and see what happens. And I was like, oh my God.
The only thing before that in the movie with me is I slept with this white man and I got a white baby. She had a white husband for the 14 years she been doing comedy.
You know how they say you can never really know how the industry works unless you're in it? Well, Katt Williams might have just given us a sneak peek into exactly what that means, as the comedian has now come up with some big news about Tiffany Haddish. According to Williams, his fellow comedian's career didn't come up as organically as she has led everyone to believe. The veteran comedian seems to believe that Haddish might have taken a quick route up the food chain in the entertainment industry and is now laying out the details of her secret life. So if you've ever had doubts about who Haddish really is, then you probably shouldn't miss this. News of celebrities living double lives have been broken time and time again, but even that does not seem to compare with how Tiffany Haddish has make her way to the top. And Katt Williams is leaving no stone unturned in his spill.
Why? Because you know ain't nobody gonna sleep with him. You only got Tiffany Haddish. She been doing comedy since she was 16. You can't tell me your favorite Tiffany Haddish joke.
Williams recently spoke about some of his fellow industry players and decided it was the perfect time to drop a scoop about Haddish. During an appearance on V103's Frank and Wanda in the Morning Show, Williams went in on a number of his fellow comedians, including Lil Rel Howery, Jared Carmichael, Kevin Hart, and Hannibal Buress.
These are the truths they hiding from you. I risk my life to tell y'all these truths. I'm gonna tell you another one they'll have me crucified by the morning. Watch. All I gotta do is tell the truth. Watch this one. Wendy Williams is Bigfoot. There, I said it. It's out there. I can't take it back. The bitch is Bigfoot. Every time she go on hiatus, you see all type of sightings. So, how you doing? She in the woods. That's the truth. My name is Katt Williams. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
It's about that doggone Chris Rock. He's a joke thief. You're joking, right? Like I'm joking, Jerry? I'm serious. It happened a long time ago. It was at Mr. Laugh. I remember like it was yesterday. And that thief and son. There's too much weave in here for me. Look at this. You got so much horsehead hot dog on here. I can still see the jockey boot when he been kicking up upside their head. Hey, you funny, man.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Chris Rock.
Yeah, man, tear it down, man. I'm behind you, man. If you leave, I'll pick up.
All right, hey. Boy, sure is a lot of hair weaves in here tonight. Boy, you got so much horsehair in your weave, I can see the mark on the side of your head where the jockey was kicking you. Jockey was kicking you.
Man, Rock is hilarious.
Daddy, so black lightning bugs follow him in the daytime.
True that. We all dog people. How your sister doing, man? I heard she made $1 million, man. She charged $1 a head at the Million Man Mark.
Yeah, well, your sister was right there going, smart family, you know. His aunt was the first $1 million prostitute. Really? Yes. You want to know how she made $1 million? She charged $1 a head at the Million Man Mark. Chris, that is great stuff. I don't know where you get it.
America, y'all know, from me.
Seen this side of Diddy, fans are doing a double take, flashing back to what Katt Williams hinted at, you know, about how Diddy allegedly used young artists and acted creepy towards them. Okay, so let's throw it back a little bit. A couple of years ago, Katt threw shade at Diddy and Jermaine Dupri, suggesting that they did some awful things to the Criss Cross boys, and how this allegedly led to one of the boys down a destructive path, turning to drugs as an escape before tragically having a drug overdose in 2013. Now, for those not in the loop, the Criss Cross boys were Chris Kelly and Chris Smith. You know, Criss Cross will make you jump, jump. These two young boys who skyrocketed into fame in the early 90s, hitting superstar status at just 12 and 13. But like many child stars in Hollywood, they're believed to have faced some serious issues. Jermaine Dupri was their mentor, and he helped shape their music career. But according to Katt Williams, the mentorship went beyond the studio, and Jermaine and Diddy allegedly groomed them in ways that go way beyond the music business. The boys dropped 3 super successful albums with Jermaine Dupri, but rumor has it that both the boys allegedly faced repeated SA with both Jermaine and his buddy Diddy, who were implicated in these disturbing allegations. According to Katt Williams, the alleged SA ordeal pushed Chris Kelly to turn to drugs as a way to handle the pain that he was going through. His struggle with drugs continued until 2013 when he was discovered unconscious at his Atlanta home. Now, even though he was rushed to the hospital, he was declared dead 3 days later. It was a heartbreaking heartbreaking revelation for his family, who for the first time openly acknowledged his history of drug abuse. Now, Jermaine Dupri released a statement about how heartbroken he was, and he said, "Not to the world, Chris was Mac Daddy, but to me, he was a son I never had. As much as you may think I taught him, he taught me. God has blessed me to be in the presence of so many naturally talented people, and Chris was one. When I think about it, I spent more time with Chris than dang near anybody in my whole life, so you can imagine how bad this hurts." But as people started to figure out, he didn't even know Chris that well because he didn't know some of the basic things about him, like his age.
And then one of the members passes.
No,
not right after, but years later.
Yeah, years later.
He passes at a relatively young age. Was it 30 something?
Yeah, I think so.
Did you see that coming at all? Were you guys still in contact?
No, I didn't. I mean, I didn't see that coming. We was in contact.
Chris and Jermaine had drifted apart over the years because Chris avoided any contact with Jermaine. Yet Jermaine was trying to claim that they were besties or something like that. But fans noticed a visible change in Chris Kelly's demeanor because he seemed downcast and withdrawn after getting involved with Jermaine and Diddy. At first, folks chalked it up to the industry's pressure and not giving it much thought. But now that these allegations are out, it's pretty heartbreaking to imagine what Chris was enduring behind the scenes. Jermaine's alleged SA wasn't the only issue because he allegedly allowed others in the industry to do the same. Some are even suggesting a weird ritual between Diddy and Jermaine, where they would allegedly pimp out their artists to each other and even to others in their inner circle. For example, there have been reports that Diddy allegedly used to pimp out the members of his girl group, Danity Kane, and this explains why he was so obsessed with them looking good at all times.
And I'm giving you this, Aubrey. He stood up there and he said in front of a lot of people, we were in the studio, and I said something to him and walked out the studio. He said, "Yo, I'm gonna drug their ass off and pick them up and pimp them out to my, He said, "I'm gonna drug them out. I'm gonna get them all on drugs, and I'm gonna pimp their ass out to my." I was like, "Them somebody kids," and walked out.
Yeah, y'all, this is some pretty seriously messed up stuff, but back to Criss Cross. Now, because it turns out that they had their suspicions about Jermaine from the moment they met him. Their intuition told them that something was wrong, even though they were only 11 and 12 when they met him, before they started working together. In an old interview, Chris Kelly said, "We were just playing video games in this mall in Atlanta when all of a sudden this dude comes up to us and said that he'd like for us to work with him as rap musicians. That dude turned out to be Jermaine Dupri." Chris Smith then added, "We had no idea who..."
Of concrete evidence, Katt Williams didn't hold back, publicly labeling Jermaine with a derogatory term in a 2011 video where he took shots at various personalities, including Diddy and Steve Harvey. Back then, many brushed off Katt's claims, attributing them to potential intoxication. Recent comments that emerged on the video tell you everything that you need to know about Katt and his forecast. Katt was trying to tell us 12 years ago, and the way this video has aged is insane. Everything is really being exposed now. They tried to dismiss Katt as being crazy. Dude was telling us the truth all along. Surprisingly, Jermaine didn't respond or take legal action against the comedian, leaving fans wondering about the truth behind the accusations. The plot thickened in 2018 when Bow Wow, also mentored by Jermaine, teased cryptic tweets that hinted at undisclosed secrets. With the recent spotlight on allegations against influential figures like Diddy, fans are now casting a skeptical eye on Jermaine and others in the industry. It's a tangled tale of rumors, unanswered questions, and a growing sense of skepticism surrounding the once glamorous world of mentorship in the music industry.
I remember watching Puff at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I'm filming this, and it's a pool party that is ridiculous, man. And I look up and I see Dr. Ruth. I don't know if you know who that is. The sex lady. The sex lady. I see Dr. Ruth. I said, "Miss Ruth, could you please come over here? This guy by the name of Sean P. Diddy Combs. I need you to come meet him. I need this for my camera." Dr. Ruth and Puff at the Beverly Hills Hotel pool, dancing, doing their thing, right?
Now, if the mere mention of Puffy Flavor Camp doesn't send chills down your spine, the jaw-dropping stories shared by celebrities about their time in this camp will undoubtedly leave you in shock. One of the stars who lived through the Puffy Flavor experience was none other than Usher. From a tender age, Usher was groomed to become an R&B sensation, and in 2016, he spilled the beans to Howard Stern about the eye-opening year he spent living with Puff Daddy at just 14. Usher didn't hold back as he shared, "I got a chance to see some things. I went there to see the lifestyle, and I saw it," during his first Stern Show interview. The revelations about what went down behind the scenes at Puffy Flavor Camp are enough to make anyone do a double take. It's a peek into the stark reality of the price of fame, as witnessed by a young Usher navigating the glitzy yet complex world of the music industry under the guidance of Puff Daddy. Now, let's unravel the fascinating saga of Usher's unique education in the infamous Puffy Flavor Camp. The story kicks off when a teenage Usher wowed music bigwig L.A. Reid with his musical prowess, earning himself a ticket to New York to live with none other than Puff Daddy during the peak of Bad Boy Records. Usher spilled the tea, saying, "In order to experience what it meant to really make it big in music, it was pretty wild. It was crazy," as he shared the stage with hip-hop heavyweights like Notorious Big, Lil' Kim, Faith Evans, Mary J. Blige, and Craig Mack, a constant presence at Puffy's house. Usher humorously recalled being the little brother affectionately called Baby Boo by the crew. When Howard Stern probed about any rules for the young Usher living with Puff Daddy, the surprising revelation came: Diddy wasn't the disciplinarian type. "He was letting me be a young man," Usher spilled. Even without traditional schooling, Usher had a tutor and just enough cash to toe the line without getting into too much trouble. When it came time for Usher's debut album, Diddy took on the role of producer. However, after the album didn't meet commercial expectations, Puff Daddy distanced himself from Usher's second album, My Way, which went platinum 6 times.
Line up. How it don't line up? He thought that I was just a no-name comedian and that he could take this joke and nobody would know.
Right.
The issue was that I had already done this particular joke on BET's Comic View twice.
Right.
It had done so well on BET's Comic View that they had made it part of the commercial. So part of the commercial of make sure you tune in to BET was you seeing me doing this joke. So this is not just a random joke. This is my very best joke, and it's my last joke, and it's my closing joke.
Okay.
1998, I'm doing this joke. It's on Comic View. Cedric comes to the Comedy Store. He watches me in the audience. He comes backstage. He tells me what a great job I did and how much he loves the joke. 2 years later, he's doing that as his last joke on the Kings of Comedy. Cedric told you when you asked him, did you steal Katt Williams?
It looked like this. You flossing in a 6-shift convertible.
What's up, nigga? Y'all know the only time we turn our music down is when we got a parallel park. That's the only time we gotta concentrate, nigga.
In 2022, however, he claimed that he stopped performing stand-up because he worried about cancel culture affecting his other work. While promoting his new show, 66-year-old Harvey said today's political climate makes it too difficult for him to return to the world of comedy. While he's most known these days for hosting Family Feud, among other shows, he previously led Showtime at the Apollo and released a number of stand-up specials. The only way I can do one more special is that it would have to be at the end of my television career because it will end my television career, said Harvey. We're in the cancel culture now. No stand-up that is sponsor-driven can say anything he wants to. Chris Rock can't. Kevin Hart can't. Cedric the Entertainer can't. D.L. Hewley can't. I can go down the list. The only person who can say what they want to say on stage is Dave Chappelle because he's not sponsor-driven. He's subscription-driven. If I had tried to continue as a stand-up, there's no way I could maintain it, Harvey continued. Political correctness has K-comedy. Every joke you tell now, it hurts somebody's feelings. But what people don't understand about comedians is that a joke has to be about something. It has to be about somebody. We can't write jokes about puppies all the time. The joke can't be about bushes all the time. Some of these jokes will have to be about people because that's the most interesting topic.
Right. It's going to be career ending. Right. Because what I really want to say, I'm not going to do a special unless I can say what I really want to say. Right. I want to be like Rock and have selective outrage.
Harvey went on to add, so if I come back, I'll have to wait until I'm done. And I'm not done. I want to do one more. I'll probably have to call it This Is It. Despite putting his stand-up career on hold, Harvey has kept his plate full since the beginning of the 21st century. However, it seems keeping his plate full involves stealing material from other creators to pass as his own, just as Mark Curry exposed him for having suffered that. Although the claims from Curry, coupled with Steve's outright denial, make it seem like the last thing Steve Harvey would do is ever try to steal someone's material, it turns out the comic might actually be a lot worse than even Curry described. Remember the original Kings of Comedy tour I mentioned earlier, and how Steve was with a group of comics that took the world by storm? Well, that wasn't the full story. See, Harvey at the time was alleged to be a smooth performer, but also the most aggressive in the lineup toward the audience, picking targets in the front row for comments on their hair, clothes, and career prospects. Other comics like Bernie Mac had a different approach, something you could call the most hard-edged, and some of his material ventures away from comedy and into the wounds of real life.
First year we did it, it was just me, Bernie, and Steve. Right. And Steve closed, and Guy Torrey was the host.
However, it seems Harvey might have been jealous of Bernie Mac's approach, and that small hiccup seems to have grown into a beef that lasted for years. At least that's what one of the band members seems to have just revealed to the world, and the internet is buzzing about it.
Bernie, felt like he didn't want to do it anymore. He was on his own path, and Steve. So, nothing like that ever happens.
When asked if it was true about the comics butting heads while taping, Cedric said, yeah. I mean, they were the kind of guys that they both alpha males. They just saw it different. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they was able to get through it.
Is that one of the reasons why you didn't do? You did the first part, and then the second part. I think, of course, that was, definitely a contributing circumstance.
The 58-year-old didn't necessarily go into detail about Harvey and Mac's disagreements, but in a 2003 interview with GQ magazine, Mac claimed that Harvey was jealous of his rise to stardom, and even tried to sabotage certain movie roles that he was obtaining at the time. Sound familiar? Well, let's just say most people seem to see Steve for his true color now, and they've been talking. One user wrote, "I never liked Steve Harvey. People always addressed how much of a raccoon he's always been, which is a fact, but he also had a superiority complex over other black comedians that he worked with, including Bernie and Cedric, too quiet as it's kept." Looks like Steve's days living like he's above everyone else in the industry might be numbered in the eyes of the public. That's it for this video. Goodbye.